Thanks, Anthony. And I want to say I'm grateful to be here. Like Anthony said, I work with the Center for Working Class Politics. We are, as the name suggests, an organization that's geared toward re-engaging working class voters, especially those who've drifted away from the progressive side of the political spectrum and toward the right. We focus a lot on rural areas, especially rural small towns, Rust Belt towns as well. And one thing that we've learned through our research and the work that we've done is that a lot of union members and a lot of working class voters who have drifted away from the Democrats and drifted away from progressive politics are not going to be won back by a message of just resistance or anti-Trump or this and that, how bad the Republican Party is, how evil they are. They're going to be won back by a positive message, a message that says, look, we're for you and we want to help you. And they're also going to be won back if we actually have candidates and advocates that look and sound like the people they want to win. And that's why this campaign is really important. A lot of the mainstream Democrats, I'm not sure if any of you follow what's going on at the National Party, but a lot of the mainstream Democrats still aren't getting this message. It's something that Roe mentioned earlier, but right now we're seeing the DNC roll out a new strategy for beating Trump's populism by basically cursing a lot and acting really tough on camera. And that's just not going to cut it. What's going to work is having real candidates that actually look, sound, act like, and think like rural people, working people, blue collar people, people who work with their hands for a living, people who, as somebody said, take a shower at the end of the day before the beginning of the day, at the end of the workday before they go to work. These are the people who are going to win back working class and blue collar Americans. And these are the kind of people that Beyond Resistance is trying to actually engage, right? So what do those people want? Well, more than anything, they want a better economic system. They want better jobs. They want higher wages. They don't just want welfare programs. What they want is an entire new economic structure that actually values the work that they do. They don't want to learn to code. They don't want to move across the country for a job in a knowledge hub city. They want to be able to live in the place that they live with dignity, with decent wages to raise a family and buy a home. These are things that weren't that crazy just 20, 30 years ago, but now they're out of reach for so many working Americans. And this is the kind of stuff that we need to be saying. And we need to be saying it in a way that doesn't drip with the kind of condescension and elitism that a lot of the mainstream Democrats have when they come into these blue collar places. So I'm not going to take much of your time. I just want to say I think it's really important that people get involved in campaigns like this. We need to re-engage blue collar workers and rural people, farmers and workers across the country who've drifted away from us and re-engage them on their terms. And that's why I think you need to get involved. You need to get people you know involved in the Beyond Resistance campaign. So that's all I've got to say. Thanks for your time, Anthony. Thanks for everything and everybody else who's been working on this campaign. I think we've got a long way to go, but it's really important that we get started.